Hey guys, if we reach 1,000 likes, we'll be giving out 2 of our new shirts. All you gotta do is click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. What is up, guys? I am TheDemonFox. Welcome back to another lovely, amazing, insanely incredible, creative, original top 10 video. These are all things that have been used to describe other channels that aren't mine, but welcome to another top 10 video. Today we are going to talk about money, everyone's favorite subject, with YouTube ads just being destroyed because all these brands leaving YouTube. I thought it was fitting with all this money talk to talk about the top 10 grossing cartoon shows of all time. Unfortunately, that is a very hard thing to find unless the company explicitly says how much a thing is worth, because they don't have to do that, and it's very hard to figure out what these franchises are worth, so please take all these numbers with a huge grain of salt. Without further ado, let's get right into this. Number 10, ScoobyDoo. So ScoobyDoo is one that's not exactly, well, defined. The franchise in total is probably worth a cool billion, but I can't actually find any numbers that give me any hard estimates. What I can find is how much the movies were making. Just 2 movies alone were worth about $210 million of profit. That's profit. That's not what they just got from the movie. And that's after they've gotten everyone paid, they paid for advertisements, they paid for the creation of the product, and that's what they received for 2 movies. But I think it's safe to say that ScoobyDoo probably is worth quite a bit as far as how long it's been around and how many toys they've made of it and how many direct-to-DVD movies they've made. It's gotta be worth quite a bit. Number 9, Peppa Pig. So Peppa Pig is a really young show. Like, it's meant for literal toddlers. This isn't like MOP where, oh, it's Y7, but it has decent writing and decent animation, so adults can watch it too. No, this one is literally meant for toddlers. And apparently toddlers pay big bucks because Peppa Pig is worth $1 billion. Yes, this child's cartoon is worth more than you will ever see in your entire life. It is a billionaire. Enjoy that. You are being out-earned by a little girl pig. Peppa Pig, I obviously haven't really watched it. I know Storm Analysis, if you guys remember that guy, he had a parody of the It's Very Grown Up, which was a meme where Peppa Pig was saying like, she likes this music, it's very grown up. And usually someone would introduce like some very hardcore gangster rap or just some overtly sexual music. Number 8, Rugrats is worth around $2 billion. So Rugrats did have a pretty huge hype when it was originally out, you know, back in the olden days of Nickelodeon. Unfortunately, I don't think the IP is quite as big as it used to be. You're not really seeing any direct-to-DVD movies, and you're not really seeing any shows being made. Plus, there's not a huge, like, selection of Rugrats toys out there. So the fact that it's worth $2 billion still is pretty big deal. Something I was not expecting. Though I guess it makes sense for the hype that it had back in the day. Rugrats was a show that I grew up with and I did enjoy it, so I have to imagine that a lot of other kids enjoyed it. It wasn't like I was watching the show too critically back then. I do know that they did try to do All Grown Up, which I did actually enjoy when they were in high school. They were all grown up and they were all experiencing different things in high school, and that was an interesting take on it, but I don't think a lot of people like that. Number 7, Hannah Montana. So here's a little one for you guys. How much do you think Hannah Montana was worth? Just think about it. Like, before she even really became the huge Miley Cyrus pop star that she is today. Just think about it. How much do you think it was worth? 100 million? 200 million? Try $1 billion. This Disney show was worth $1 billion. And I know it's not exactly animated, but it is a show that was aimed at kids. Not everyone on this list is going to be in the strictest sense, but I'm more talking about the cartoons that kids would enjoy primarily. Because Honestly, it's very hard to find. It's very hard to find these numbers, and these numbers are cross-referenced by a lot of different sites. So cut me some slack on this list, guys. Hannah Montana is worth a cool $1 billion. Some put her at a little bit more than that at 1.7 billion, but I'm just going to say 1 billion because at this point, that 0.7 doesn't really mean a whole lot. We're already at $1 billion. That's a lot of money. Number 6, another kind of live action cartoon kind of thing. Power Rangers is worth $6 billion. You know, this makes sense, but at the same time, with as many toys that Power Rangers has at its disposal, I don't know, I kind of felt like it would be a little bit higher. I know, oh boy, only $6 billion. That's a ton of money. That is a lot of money. That is inconceivable amount of money to me. I don't even understand that concept, that level of amount of just money that show has. Power Rangers obviously has a myriad of toys, and they love to pump them out. They have so many different versions of Power Rangers. They have Ninja Storm, SPD, all kinds of things like that. Turbo. They have definitely made their series expansive and inexpensive because you just kind of take the same footage from the Japanese version and like dub over it, but kids love it. I gotta say, I did love Power Rangers too growing up, and I believe the last version I watched was SPD, and yes, at that time I was critically watching shows, and I still loved it. Number 5, Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes is a really hard one to track down, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to give you guys a pretty big range here of $4 to $7 billion. Unfortunately, it looks like Looney Tunes it's kind of in the wind here. Like, there's a lot of stuff that is tied to Looney Tunes, but there's no hard numbers. As far as movies go and things like that, there have been estimates ranging from like hundreds of millions to only a few million, and the thing is, you have to account for inflation for some of those older ones if you were just going to add the movies up, and we get into some tricky situation, but I think 4 to 7 billion is a probably good estimate to have. This is cross-referenced with a couple of different sites, and I believe this is pretty accurate. I mean, think about it. How many kids do you know that still know of Looney Tunes in this day and age? Looney Tunes have been around forever, and they're backed by Disney. Number 4, SpongeBob SquarePants, $8 billion. This one is actually confirmed. There are multiple articles talking about this. SpongeBob SquarePants has incurred a net worth of $8 billion. Yes, the yellow sponge who lives in a pineapple under the sea is a billionaire. SpongeBob has definitely lost its edge going into these later seasons, but I still remember those old SpongeBob memes with the chocolate, and what I learned today in boating school is liar, liar, plants for hire, all kinds of iconic memes that the internet has latched onto. You tell someone a joke from the earlier SpongeBob seasons, everyone laughs. Yukia. This one is kind of cheating. I can't find any estimates here. There is just very little information. I did learn that they sued America for apparently not giving them their money. 4Kids was trying not to pay Yugi his money, and I guess he sicked Dark Magician on her. But you gotta know that Yukio has to be making some pretty large numbers here. They recently released an app, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which has 25 million downloads already. They are the largest card game, having sold over 24 billion cards in total. That's a lot of Duel Monster cards out there. They have an expansive library of over 22,000 cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is popping off. People love it. And while I personally think the series seems to have died when Yu-Gi-Oh! GX became a thing, I guess they kept on going. Zexo is apparently doing decent enough, and I don't see the series dying anytime too soon. Not with numbers like these. Dora the Explorer. Dora the Explorer has a net worth for the franchise of $11 billion. I don't want to get too political here, but I kind of think it's kind of funny that a Mexican child is richer than our president with the whole wall situation. That is a little bit funny. Nothing political tied to that, but I do think that's kind of hilarious. That is a lot of money that is flowing through Dora the Explorer's pocket, teaching old kids apparently pretty bad Spanish. Apparently her Spanish pronunciations are bad, which is weird because America has a pretty high Latino population, a lot of Spanish speakers. You would think you could, get the guy who does your lawn or something to come in and ask them, hey, is this right? But apparently it doesn't matter because $11 billion. And the number one highest grossing cartoon that I could find, at least that are on this list, because trust me, I'm sure there's a lot of other cartoons out there, but it's very hard to find these numbers. You just Google it and you will see. You will see how hard it is. But the highest grossing cartoon on this list is Pokemon at $15 to $40.8 billion. Yeah, that's 4-0 for the highest estimate. And I say 15 to 40 billion because there is some discrepancy here. Are we just counting the TV show? Are we counting the TV show plus all the toys, all the tie-ins, all the licensing fees? It's a lot of money here. Pokemon itself is worth a lot of money regardless. And it's probably the most worth IP out there. But let's just look at it. Yeah, Pokemon Go that came out and took the world by storm, actually motivating kids to get out their asses. I don't think you understand how amazing of a feat that is to get a kid to go outside in modern day. I mean, they have the internet. Why would they want to come outside? The graphics suck and the gameplay is worse. But yeah, guys, it's gonna do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. I wish I could get some harder numbers for you guys. But again, this is really hard. I didn't think that it would be this hard. This video has been in my idea of videos to do for quite a while. And my God, I have tried to look up. I can find movie stuff very easily. That's very easy to find, well documented, but to figure out how many people are tuning into a show or to figure out how much that show is actually making is very hard. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed these estimations from various sites. And I hope you guys found the video at least entertaining. As always, I've been Moliminous. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. If you have an idea for a top 10, leave it down below and maybe I'll do it. If you feel so inclined, you can also join our Patreon with YouTube slashing advertisement budgets. If you guys want to keep on seeing videos that you enjoy, be sure to patronize me or pick up a shirt at the store, and that works too. As always, guys, I'll see you next time. Peace them out.